Hi everyone, it's Peggy Merwin with Stamp with Peggy. Today is Monday, September 25th. It is the last Monday in September. Can you believe Sunday's going to be October already? We're into fall officially, according to the calendar. Weather's been really good, so hopefully everybody had a fabulous weekend. Hello, make sure you say hi. Corrine, welcome. Cheryl. Okay, let me get myself up here so that I can watch for comments and see who's with us. Okay, hopefully you all had a wonderful weekend. I had a fabulous weekend. A little busy and I'm dragging a little bit right now. Those of you who follow my blog, I didn't have a blog post today because I sat down to do it late last night and I'm like, nope. I'm exhausted from a fabulous weekend with 44 demonstrator friends, some older friends, some newer friends, met lots of people. I mean, it was absolutely fabulous. We had our demonstrator holiday hoopla using all kinds of things from the holiday mini catalog. So it was wonderful. I'll be showing on my blog over the next few I'll say the next couple of weeks because I won't get through all of them this week. There's just too many other things to do. Okay, it is, like I said, the last Monday of September. If you have not gotten your card challenge done, make sure you get that done and post it in my Stamp with Peggy VIP group. We will all want to see what you've been doing and what you've been creating with the fun sketch. And I'll be honest, because it was so crazy last week trying to get ready for Saturday and Sunday, I haven't had a chance to go back in and look to see how many we have participating so far. But please do. Again, we all love to see what each other does. What's your favorite stamp set, your favorite designer paper. So it's awesome to play. All right, and I'm seeing a few, so let's just take a peek. Hi, Miss Sandy. Good luck tomorrow. Linda, thank you for sharing. Yeah, Annie, you couldn't find me because I was running a couple minutes late. Kind of the story of my life. Hopefully I'll get back on track a little bit now. I say I'm done with the big event, and now I start getting ready for Fall Fest. Speaking of that, I have not placed my order for Fall Fest yet. So if there are any last minute people, kind of through tonight or maybe tomorrow at the latest, if you have not signed up for Fall Fest and you would still like to, please let me know right away so that we can get you signed up and get things rolling so that I can, by the end of the week, I will have everything ready and get my order placed right away, either yet this week or the very, very beginning of next week in express ship stuff so I can be all ready for you. Okay. I'm going to start out. I want to show you. Oh, first of all, many of you have been waiting on stamp sets or bundles that were not available. The Ghosts and Bats, right now, they're available. Again, I don't think it'll be long. The glow-in-the-dark cardstock was back in stock last week. I looked about an hour ago, and it is on back order again, or not available list until November 2nd. So that won't be in time for Halloween. But like I said, right now the Bats and Ghosts are still available. I'm going to place an order tonight for some. That is one of your choices of embellishments for the September coupon. If you are interested in that or have not yet, with a $65 order, you get a choice of, and there's about 5 or 6. The speckled dots are back in stock at the moment, but the bundles, the Them Bones bundle, I'm trying to think what else was showing on back order or not available. Right now they're back, so pop in and take a look and get an order. I saw somebody, Shirley, placed an order today, and I think it was exactly doing that, is getting the things that have not been available. The Truck Along bundle is supposed to be back again on October 9th. Designer papers, almost all of them in the holiday catalog are not available right now. They're all due in right around October 2nd to the 9th. So all I can say is keep popping in, and I know that's what Shirley's doing. She's popping in and checking on things. Jackie was too. So if there's things that you're looking at, pop in, see if they're available. I'll show you the host code again for this month. You know, that's how I'm able to give away prizes during my Facebook Lives, is I use those hostess benefits to purchase the different things. Okay, so I'm going to take you down. I'm going to show you a couple things that the people at Holiday Hoopla received in their bag of goodies before their projects or throughout the 2 days. And then we'll get started. Okay, so bear with me just a second. Okay, we got the camera going down. Let me get this switched around. Okay, we got to pull this forward. All right, I'm coming back up, so we're going to jiggle again. Okay, we need to pull this forward. Let's get this out of the way for the moment. Okay, there is our host code. Whoops, I need to come back this way. There is our host code for this month yet, so it'll be through this week. Next week, or on Sunday, I will create a new host code, so next week we'll have a new one. Okay, all right, so Saturday morning, once we got everybody all settled into their seats and at their project table, we passed out a fun little goodie bag for everybody. Isn't that tag adorable? This is from the Merriest Trees. So I die cut 2 of the tags, stamped the words, which, and I'll be honest, at the moment, I can't remember which set that's out of. But then I used the Pick-a-Patch and stamped and punched out the pumpkins and added those on with some of the copper clay ribbon. Isn't that adorable? And it was things that they would be using throughout the weekend. They got 2 different packages of ribbon. They got embellishments. They got Abundant Beauty masks. And they got a little bit of the All About Autumn designer paper that was left from projects that they made. And then we stamped all day long on Saturday. And then on Sunday morning, we got everybody seated again, ready to start. And then we went through and passed out. I found these adorable little jars on Amazon. They came with the tags, so then I just stamped, again, using the pick of the patch for this, and the words were out of one of the other sets again. So Sincere, I think, is where that was from. And then I filled it with, I made a little trail mix with dry roasted peanuts and chocolate chips and candy corn. So those of you who may not like candy corn, if you eat it with the peanuts, it tastes like a Payday candy bar. So much fun. Okay, don't forget, and I've already seen some of it. Thank you for sharing and liking and tagging and all that fun stuff. I do drawings each week, you know, and this week the prize is going to be 1 sheet, so 12 sheets of the All About Autumn designer paper. Okay, or close to 12. There may be, I've got a couple packages. Some of them may have had 1 or 2 sheets out, but you'll get a fun little assortment of that paper. Okay, and the first person to win one of those is Sheila Stevens. Sheila, thank you so much for participating, saying hi to everybody when you hop on. I absolutely love it. And the second person is Cheryl DeSico. Cheryl, thank you so much for all of your support. So I will have that for you. I will get those things popped in the mail. I should be able to get caught up on all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so today we're going to use, and I'm just talking about it, the Pick of the Patch bundle, the stamp set, and the punch. I believe at the moment both of these are available. Okay, so grab them quick. They're great for, not only we used them for Halloween. Remember a couple weeks back, we did the framed art, and then we did the little shadow box card. That was using that, and then you have the fun little jack-o'-lantern face. But it also works great just for fall, for Thanksgiving. Great birthday cards, Thanksgiving, whatever. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. We're also going to use little pieces, or a little piece maybe, of the 2 little pieces of the Garden Walk designer paper. Roseanne did a fabulous display this last weekend using this paper, and I think I've shown it to you before, but it is such pretty paper. It's got some blues, some peaches, And then it rolls back into, and I should have pulled one of each out and I didn't, but a little bit more into some Christmas colors. And look at that paper. And then the back side is just the polka dots. And this one, there's 8 sheets of each print in here. So it's a fun one because you can really get a lot out of it. And then we are also going to use a piece of the All About Autumn designer paper. This is the one again, and I've shown you this one a couple of times. It's got all of the beautiful scenes on it. And then it's got fun, gorgeous prints on the back with some copper. Okay. So I was kind of checking things out on a couple other places in Pinterest, and I came across 2 different kind of technique things that I absolutely loved. So I thought I would share a little bit with you. Okay. So we're using Pretty Peacock for the base. It is 5.5 by 8.5, our standard paper, folded, scored at 4 1/4 and folded in half. Make sure you burnish it really, really well. Okay, then I have 2 pieces of Very Vanilla that are 4 inches by 5 1/4. One is going to go on the top and one is going to go on the inside. Okay, then I have another piece of Pretty Peacock. This one is 4 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I embossed it with the brand new Distressed Tile embossing folder. And I know this is not showing up great, but you have kind of blank spaces, kind of like the exposed brick folder, and then just some gorgeous, gorgeous things. Now, one thing that I saw this weekend that I was watching, and I tried it before, it didn't work, but I will be playing again and we'll be doing it, is you can take Versamark ink, and they just took the stamp pad and patted on it. I'm going to try it with a sponge dauber next time. Just putting some Versamark around and then putting embossing powder, like gold embossing powder on it. It's so pretty that it doesn't hit all over. You just kind of make it even more distressed looking than the embossing folder alone is. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to adhere this piece to the Very Vanilla piece. Just like that. Okay, and then we're also going to adhere our Very Vanilla piece to the front of our card. So very sweet and simple. Actually, the whole card really is very easy to do, very easy to duplicate. And it's just a different color combination for me anyways. Okay, then I took a piece of the Garden Walk designer paper and I cut it 3 3/4 of an inch by 3 7/8, the same width as the Pretty Peacock here. Okay, so it's going to go on like that. I'm going to wait a minute to stick it down. And then I took a piece of the Wild Wheat designer or cardstock and I stamped with Pretty Peacock, and this is out of the Pick of the Patch stamp set, A Harvest of Blessings. I thought that works really well. I mean, it works for birthdays, but it also works for Thanksgiving type things. Just a beautiful fall card. Okay, I'm going to angle cut that, and then we're going to adhere it down onto here. And this was just a strip that was laying there. Okay, so I'm going to put some seal on it, and I'm going to attach it onto my piece of designer paper. And as you can see, it's sticking up above a little bit, but then we're just going to trim it off right here so that it's even with the designer paper. Isn't that saying just so pretty, Cheryl? I really liked it too. And like I said, it works great for just all. I mean, if you want somebody just to know that you care about them, if it works for birthdays, okay? So we're just going to stick that onto the front of our card. And then I punched a piece of Very Vanilla with the 2 3/8 inch circle punch, okay? And I'm going to pull my stamp mat in here. Whenever I tell you that you need a stamp mat for class for the photopolymer stamps, this is what I mean. It's actually the piercing mat, but it's perfect for stamping with the photopolymer. Okay, so then we're going to pull up the Wild Wheat ink pad. And out of the stamp set, I'm going to pull the gourd or squash. Okay, we're going to ink that up, and we're just going to stamp it like off here to the side. Okay. It does change colors as it dries, so no worries that it's like, ooh, it's kind of that pea green color, right? Okay. Then we're going to add some curly cues, vines to this, and I'm going to do it with Pretty Peacock. And I think I'm going to try this little curly cue here. We're going to send it off to the side here a little bit. How about like that? Okay. All right, then, now I got to find where all my other little pieces and things went here. And I'm missing one. And it's one, oh, there it is right there. Okay. I pre-stamped the stem with Pretty Peacock, and I punched it out with the Pick-a-Patch stamp or punch. Then I also stamped 3 of the leaves with Pretty Peacock. And so we're going to just stick that in here. And we're going to punch out 3. Oh, that one got really close. That's all right. We can still make it work. And that is one thing with some of these punches. You do have to make sure that you leave enough room around it when there's other things on it. Okay, now, you know the trick, right? Put a little bit of seal on one end, and that gives you a handle so that those little pieces that you think are too small, you can still get them right into your punch. Okay, and there's our third one. Now we can put our punch over here for now, and there we've got our 3 leaves and our 1 stem. Let's get all of this junk out of here. Get that little piece out. And, okay. Then I have my piece of, hi Jan, my piece of All About Autumn designer paper. This is the sheet that has the shelves of books. Okay, but we're going to use this copper clay with the copper part. And we're going to punch 3 of the larger pumpkins. Okay, there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. And then you have enough left, you can punch 1 more for another card. The handle trick works great, right, Cheryl? We try not to waste anything we don't have to. Okay, we're done stamping, so let's get that out of my way. Okay, so we have our 3 pumpkins. We're going to fold our pumpkins in half. This is the side that I want to show, so we're going to fold them in so that the wrong side of our paper is what's showing. And we're going to do that on all 3 pieces. And then we're going to take our bone folder and make sure that they're staying nice and crisp. And then we're going to take our glue, and we're going to put glue on 1/2 of the pumpkin, and then we're going to stack another pumpkin on top of it. Okay, we're going to make sure the folded edges are even. Hold it for a second so it dries, and then we're going to add some more and add the 3rd pumpkin. Do you guys remember, those of you who are old like me, do you remember when we decorated for weddings and showers and we had the bells and things that were flat, and then you opened them up, the honeycombs, and then you get this fun dimensional pumpkin? Okay. Yes, Roseanne. Well, this is kind of like that. Okay, so you kind of get, it's flat and then it pops up like that. Okay, so that's going to go onto our piece like here. We're not going to put it together quite yet. There you go, Beth. Yep, you had them at your shower too. I think we all did that are in this age bracket. The younger ones go, what is that? Okay, so our stem is going to go under there. We're going to attach it to the back of our pumpkin with a mini glue dot. Okay, so we're just going to put the glue dot right onto the pumpkin. You're not ancient, Linda. You're younger than I am. Way younger than I am. Okay, so there's our stem. And then, okay, before we start assembling those, we're going to pull our card back in. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to adhere this right down onto here. And I'm going to use the liquid glue because then I can move it around and get it where I want to. So I'm tucking it underneath the edge of our harvest blessing. And I'm turning it so kind of the edge there so I have room for my pumpkin. And of course, my pumpkin's going to go on with dimensionals. So we're going to put one on each side. And then we're going to attach that. We're going to overhang the greeting sign just a little bit. Okay, so it will go in your envelope and it'll lay down, but then when they take it out, it'll kind of pop back up a little bit. Okay, then we're going to add, oh, and I totally forgot. All right, we're going to take this back off. We're going to see if we can't, yep, we're going to take this off because there's something else that I wanted to do before I do this. And I completely forgot. Okay, I think I can make it work this way. One of the things this weekend, and I've done it a couple of different times, but I don't think I've shown sometimes. And as I'm doing this, it's like, okay, that's cute, but it's a little plain. Okay. So we're going to add some speckles to it with our Stampin' Blend. We're going to use the wide end, the paintbrush end. And Sharon showed us this. We're going to take our lid and we're going to take the brush end and you're just going to put it in there and you're going to kind of flick it. And you can see, and right now I'm going to get it all over because I didn't do it before I start or before I put that on. Okay, but look at that. Isn't that adorable? It's got little speckles all over it. And then my recommendation is let's clean it a little bit. So let's take a baby wipe and kind of stick it in there to get that out. That way you don't get the handle of your blend all icky. Now, I will tell you, remember the cost of the blends is $9 for 2 of them. When you're doing this, you can use either color, but it will, if you do it real often, it will kind of fray the end of your blend. But again, save the icky ones for that and then get a new one for coloring, okay? But I just love how it adds the little sparkles to it. And look at that. It blends our little pumpkin in. Okay, we got to put some new dimensionals on because I really got those icky. And then we're going to go ahead and put our pumpkin back on there again. And then we're going to take and we're going to add some of the leaves. So I'm going to put a little mini or a chunk of dimensional on one end. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of glue to overhang onto the pumpkin itself. Yes, ma'am, Linda, you can do the same thing with the Wink of Stella to add some little glittery sparkles. Okay, so there's one. We're going to take one. And we're not going to put a dimensional on this one. We're just going to tuck it up under there. And then the last one, we are going to add another dimensional up at the tip. And then we're going to add some green glue. And we're going to add that one up here like that. Okay. Isn't that adorable? It's so pretty. But now we need to fix, because that's not very pretty in there. It's all ready for your greeting, but it needs a little bit of pretty. So we're going to pull our wild wheat back in with our gourd or squash. And we're going to stamp that kind of down here in the corner. Overhang a little bit. And then I took the second to the smallest pumpkin from the stamp set with Cajun Craze. And we're going to stamp that right down here. Again, I'm almost hanging off the bottom on that one. Not quite, but almost. The pumpkin looks like it's wearing a sombrero. Yeah, it does a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, then we're going to pull in the squiggles with our pretty peacock. Okay, now, and I don't know if I showed this before. Oops, I don't want that right now. And where did I put? Okay, yeah, and I stuck it back in here. I want the little stem first. Okay, so we're going to put that onto this block. Okay, if I do this, I'm going to have a great big long stem, and I don't want that. Okay, so we're going to ink it with the pretty peacock. We're just going to lay scrap paper at the top of the pumpkin, and then we can make our stem as long or as short as we want to. And I think that's a little more proportionate. And then, I don't know if there is or not, but we're going to give our squash a stem also. And then I'm also going to add the little squiggle to the pumpkin. But again, I don't want the whole squiggle. I want to be able to kind of fit it in here. So then, and that's the masking so that you can get that stuff where you want it. You don't have to have the whole thing. Okay, and then we're going to adhere that inside our card. Like that. And then we need to finish adding a little bit of bling. We're going to use the new adhesive speckled dots. These are what I said are back in stock right now, or they were an hour ago. Okay, and I'm just going to grab a couple of the little ones. All right, I need to get that off. Okay, and we're going to put one there. And then we're going to add one over. Whoops, I didn't pick it up. One over here. And then, you know what? This time I think we're going to add one right there. There you go. How pretty is that? Isn't that awesome? And then, like I said, it'll go down flat to go into your card. And they open it up and you've got some fun little fall down in the bottom. Happy birthday. Have a fabulous day. Jackie, what was your question? The copper, let me get down here. The ribbon and copper paper. Which ribbon and copper paper will be back? The copper paper, if you mean it's kind of got copper and peacock or copper and Cajun Craze, that paper will be back in, but that one's not due back in for quite a while. I looked at the date on that one today, and that's going to be a little bit. If you're talking about the ribbon, the copper ribbon, that one also, I want to say that's about the middle of October, maybe a little later. Maybe it's the 23rd of October. But right now, I've not seen any of it that won't be back in stock. But most of it is, there's some that's the beginning of October. The designer papers are all by the 9th of October, I believe. But some of the ribbons are a little bit longer than that. I think those, well, the copper ribbon just went out or has been out for a week or two. But most of the other papers have just gone out of stock in the last week or so. So those will be a little bit before they're back in stock. Okay, the one with the autumn leaves. So this one, it will be back in stock, but it's going to be a little bit before it's back in stock again. Okay. And yep, that's the best thing that I can tell you is just keep popping into the website and punching in the numbers or the name of it to verify whether it's in. Right now, I can't even keep track of what came back in stock. The last week was so crazy that it was like, okay. But all right, so that's your card for the week. You have lots of new products with the Distressed Tile Embossing Folder, the All About Autumn paper, the Pick of the Patch stamp set, the Garden Walk designer paper. So we just kind of covered a lot of different things that, you know, and like this paper, you can get a lot out of. There's 8 sheets of it and you're only using a 3/4 inch strip. So you could get a lot of cards out of that. But we're not focusing on lots and lots of designer paper. We're just using the other products to make an amazing card, right? Okay, you guys have a fabulous week. Don't forget to finish your card sketch challenge card and get that posted. Next week, I will draw a $25 winner for that. Okay, so have a fabulous week and enjoy the rest of September. I will see you next Monday on October 2nd. Take care. Bye-bye.